There is a part of the internet most people will never see. A hidden world beyond Google, beyond social media, beyond the websites you visit every day. A place where identities disappear, where laws become meaningless, and where anything, almost anything, can be bought and sold. Drugs, weapons, stolen identities, counterfeit passports, malware, hacked accounts, even murder, or at least the illusion of it. This was not just a rumor. For years, deep inside the hidden layers of the internet, there existed online black markets so powerful, so dangerous, that they changed the way criminals operate forever. And among them, one name rose above all others. A marketplace so infamous, so revolutionary, that governments around the world saw it as a direct threat. A digital underworld empire. A place many called the most dangerous market on the dark web. This is the story of the rise, the power, and the shocking fall of the hidden marketplaces that turned the dark web into a global criminal supermarket. This is Inside the Dark Web's Most Dangerous Market. To understand the market, you first have to understand the world that made it possible. Most people think the internet is what they see on Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and news websites. But that's only the surface. Beneath that visible layer is something much larger, a hidden network of pages, databases, forums, and services that aren't indexed by search engines. And beneath even that is what many call the dark web. The dark web isn't a single website, it isn't one app, and it isn't automatically illegal. In fact, the dark web is simply a part of the internet designed for anonymity. Its most famous gateway is a network called Tor, short for the onion router. Tor routes your connection through multiple encrypted layers, bouncing traffic across volunteer-run servers around the world, like layers of an onion. That means your identity becomes far harder to trace, your location becomes harder to pinpoint, and your online activity becomes hidden from ordinary tracking. For journalists, activists, whistleblowers, and people living under oppressive regimes, that anonymity can be a lifeline. But for criminals, it became a weapon, because once people realized they could hide their identities, the next step was inevitable. They built markets. For most of human history, black markets required physical risk. You had to meet someone, exchange cash, take chances, trust strangers face to face. But the dark web changed everything. Suddenly, criminal trade could become anonymous, global, scalable, and frighteningly efficient. Imagine combining the convenience of Amazon, the review system of eBay, encrypted messaging, anonymous browsers, and digital payments that were hard to trace. That was the formula. And then came the innovation that made it explode: Bitcoin. Before cryptocurrency, illegal online trade had a major problem: money. Traditional banks leave trails, credit cards can be reversed, wire transfers can be flagged. But Bitcoin offered something revolutionary: not complete invisibility, but enough distance, enough confusion, and enough technical complexity that many early criminals believed they were untouchable. That belief gave birth to a new kind of empire, a marketplace where thousands of strangers could buy illegal goods from around the world without ever meeting. And in the early 2000s, one dark web market became the blueprint for everything that followed. It looked surprisingly familiar. A homepage, categories, search bars, listings, seller profiles, star ratings, customer reviews. At first glance, it felt less like a criminal network and more like a professional e-commerce platform. But the products were horrifying: illegal drugs, fake documents, hacking tools, stolen financial data, counterfeit items, fraud services. And in some corners, listings so disturbing, they blurred the line between scam, fantasy, and real-world danger. The The genius of these markets was not just what they sold, it was trust. Trust is the biggest problem in crime. Why would a buyer trust a criminal seller? Why would a seller ship anything before being paid? Why would anyone believe a stranger hidden behind a fake username? Dark web markets solved that using systems borrowed from legal businesses. Escrow payments, reputation scores, verified vendors' dispute resolution, customer reviews, refund systems, moderation. Think about that for a moment. An illegal marketplace with customer service. This was the chilling brilliance of the dark web's most dangerous market. It didn't feel chaotic. It felt organized. It felt professional. It felt scalable. And that's what made it terrifying. Because once crime becomes systemized, it grows. Fast. The public often imagines the dark web as one giant horror show where every evil thing on earth is sold openly. The reality is more complicated, but it was still deeply dangerous. 1. Drugs. This was often the biggest category. Cocaine, heroin, MDMA, methamphetamine, prescription pills, LSD, cannabis products in some regions, and synthetic substances many buyers barely understood. Vendors would advertise purity, origin, stealth packaging, and shipping regions. Some even offered customer support. If a package didn't arrive, some buyers would file complaints. If a product was weak, they would leave negative reviews. It was the logic of online shopping, applied to narcotics. 2. Stolen data credit card dumps, bank logins, email credentials, social media accounts, personal identity records, corporate access credentials. In many ways, stolen data became more scalable than drugs. A single breach could generate thousands, even millions, of monetizable records. 3. Fraud services, fake IDs, counterfeit passports, forged diplomas, driver's licenses, bank statement templates, tax fraud kits, SIM swapping services, cash-out tutorials. Entire criminal careers could begin with downloadable fraud tools. 4. Malware and hacking tools, ransomware kits, phishing templates, remote access trojans, keyloggers, exploit packs, botnet rentals. This was especially dangerous because it lowered the barrier to entry. You didn't need to be a genius hacker anymore. You could simply buy the tools. 5. Hitman listings and extreme scams. This is where myth and reality mix together. Dark web hitman ads became infamous, but many investigators and researchers have found that a huge number of these services were likely scams, fake listings designed to steal money from desperate or curious users. Still, the existence of such listings revealed something darker. People believed anything could be bought, and that belief alone changed behavior. One of the most shocking truths about dark web markets is that many users believed they were safer than traditional criminal dealing, and in some ways, they were. No street corner, no face-to-face exchange, no gang-controlled territory, no immediate threat of violence at the point of sale. A buyer in one country could order from a seller in another, wait for a discreet package, and never physically meet anyone. That created a false sense of security. It made illegal trade feel almost normal, almost routine, almost boring. And that normalization was incredibly dangerous because when crime becomes convenient, more people are willing to try it. That's what transformed these markets from niche criminal spaces into major global networks. Every empire has an architect. Some of the most infamous dark web markets were built by people who didn't look like movie villains. No secret lair, no army of masked enforcers, no dramatic underground bunker. Instead, many were young, tech-savvy, ideologically driven and obsessed with privacy, freedom, or profit. Some believed they were libertarian revolutionaries. Others were simply entrepreneurs in the most dangerous sense of the word. They saw government control as the enemy. They saw the drug war as hypocrisy, they saw technology as liberation, and they saw a market opportunity. To them, the dark web was not just crime, it was disruption. But what they built quickly outgrew ideology. Once a platform becomes large enough, it stops being about one founder's philosophy. It becomes an ecosystem. Thousands of vendors, hundreds of thousands of buyers, millions in transactions, competing administrators, scammers, law enforcement infiltrators, rival forums, exit scams, internal betrayals. It became a living organism, and once that happens, control starts to slip. As the first major markets exploded in popularity, copycats appeared everywhere. Some were more secure, some were larger, some were crueler, some specialized in certain goods, some banned certain categories to appear ethical. Yes, even dark web markets had rules. Some banned weapons, some banned child exploitation material, some banned assassination services, some claimed to only allow victimless crimes. Whether those rules were genuine, strategic, or just public relations is another question entirely. But the competition was intense. When one market went down, another would rise. Users migrated, vendors rebranded, admins promised better security, forums debated who could be trusted. Then came one of the most feared events in the dark web economy, the exit scam. That's when market administrators suddenly disappear, taking everyone's cryptocurrency with them. Buyer funds, vendor balances, escrow reserves, gone. No customer support, no refunds, no appeals, just silence. This was the paradox of the dark web, a marketplace built on anonymity. Could never fully guarantee trust. No matter how sophisticated the platform became, everyone knew the whole thing could vanish overnight, and often it did. For years, many users believed the dark web was untouchable. They were wrong. Governments around the world began adapting, cybercrime units evolved, blockchain analysis improved, international cooperation expanded, undercover agents infiltrated forums, postal inspections increased, server seizures became more sophisticated, and law enforcement learned a crucial lesson. You don't always need to break the encryption. You just need to find the human mistake. A reused username, an old email address, a server misconfiguration, a forum post from years earlier, a login from the wrong IP, a package intercepted, a wallet trail, a laptop seized while unlocked. The myth of perfect anonymity started to crack. Some market operators were identified not because the technology failed, but because they did. One operational mistake could destroy years of secrecy. And when investigators finally got inside, the scale was often staggering. Millions in cryptocurrency, massive vendor databases, private messages, shipping records, escrow wallets, moderator chats. The hidden world wasn't as invisible as it seemed. When the biggest markets fell, the internet felt it. Forums exploded, panic spread, users rushed to withdraw funds, vendors disappeared. Speculation turned wild. Was it a server crash, a DDoS attack, an exit scam, or a law enforcement seizure? Sometimes a seizure banner would appear, a cold, unmistakable message from authorities. The digital empire was over, but the fall of one market rarely ended the dark web economy. Instead, it fragmented it. Smaller markets popped up, private invite-only communities grew, Telegram groups emerged, encrypted chat platforms became more important, single vendor shops replaced centralized hubs, fraud forums specialized further. In a strange way, every takedown made the ecosystem both weaker and more adaptable. The biggest empires could be destroyed, but the idea behind them survived, and that may be the most disturbing part of all. You might think this is just a story from the early days of Bitcoin and hidden websites, but it isn't, because the core questions are still with us. How much privacy is too much? Can anonymity protect freedom and also protect predators? Can technology built for good be separated from how criminals use it? And what happens when illegal trade becomes more efficient than legal systems can respond? The dark web's most dangerous market was not just a website, it was a warning. A warning that every new technology creates two futures at once, one for progress, one for exploitation, and whichever side grows faster depends on who gets there first. The dark web was supposed to be hidden, a shadow beneath the surface of the internet, a place where no one could see you, a place where names disappeared, a place where consequences felt far away, and for a while, it worked. Entire criminal economies thrived in the dark. Millions changed hands. Illegal goods crossed borders. Digital identities were stolen and sold. Scams multiplied. And anonymous markets turned the internet into something far more dangerous than anyone expected. But in the end, the greatest weakness of the dark web was never the code. It was the people behind it. Because no matter how deep you hide, someone always makes a mistake. And somewhere, even now, behind encrypted layers and anonymous usernames, new markets are rising. New sellers, new buyers, new scams, new empires. The platforms change, the names disappear, the servers go dark. But the machine never truly stops. And that is what makes the dark web's most dangerous market. Not just a story about the past, but a warning about the future.